and affordability. Satya Brahma, the man behind the pharma leader's rise, believes that innovations in the delivery of healthcare can result in more convenient, more effective, and less expensive treatments for today's time-stressed and increasingly empowered healthcare consumers. Government regulation to curb skyrocketing expenses of private hospitals will be a big relief to the rising Indian middle class. Improving healthcare service delivery to India's poorest is key to healthcare innovation. Access to affordable, high-quality care is key to India's growth. India needs flexible healthcare reforms to boost India's pride in global healthcare map. The lack of a universal healthcare system in our country compels patients to bear almost 80% of the healthcare costs directly from their pocket. The opportunity, therefore, lies in leveraging India's value advantage and scientific excellence to come up with innovative technology for offering world-class products at affordable prices, thus making a huge difference to millions of patients in India. Medical treatment has made astonishing advances over the years, but the packaging and delivery of that treatment are often inefficient, ineffective, and consumer unfriendly. Satya Brahma, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of the Pharma Leaders Group, feels that three kinds of innovations can make healthcare better and cheaper. One changes the ways consumers buy and use healthcare. Another uses technology to develop new products and treatments or otherwise improve care. The third generates new business models, particularly those that involve the horizontal or vertical integration of separate healthcare organizations or activities. Pharma Leaders is Asia's first opinion-based, research-driven, most analytical news media and has a decade of relentless reporting in pharma journalism in an unbiased, fearless, and independent way.
We're having slight issues in terms of getting the delegates because they're stuck in somewhere. But I've been told from my various sources that they'll be arriving very soon. I hope to present you a very enriching leadership experience in healthcare innovations in the next 3 to 4 hours. Then we'll be doing the award ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, the moderator of this conference and someone who will take you to the entire conference overview and all the speakers is Mr. S. Krishnakumar. He is popularly known as KK in the industry. He's got about 2.5 decades of experience both in domestic as well as in international market. KK is a distinguished and acclaimed speaker, and his real expertise lies in building mega brands and getting involved with strategic decisions of the company, ultimately giving a message of corporate governance. KK is also someone who has illustrious career in working with top pharma companies like Alchem Laboratories Limited, FDC, Wanbury, German Remedies. Now presently he has taken up a new assignment in the Glenmark Pharmaceuticals Limited as Vice President in India, Asia and Africa. Many of you probably are not aware that Mr. Krishnakumar, who is popularly known as KK, is also a cricket commentator and speaks extensively on cricket, and he regularly writes columns in various newspapers and travels extensively worldwide. He also gave live commentary in World Cup IPL tournament. Let's give him a huge round of applause to Mr. S. Krishnakumar, whom I'm dedicating and giving the mic to take over from this session. Thank you very much for me.
For the very nice introduction. And respected members of the medical profession, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 8th Annual Pharmaceutical Leadership Summit and Pharma Leaders Business Leadership Awards 2015. It's indeed a matter of great honor and privilege for all of us that today we'll have some of the biggest names from the medical fraternity and industry addressing us on pertinent topics across several areas encompassing dermatology, cosmetology, aesthetic medicine, plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery, enzymes, etc., and even going to the other end of the spectrum, putting patients first. With innovation and differentiation being a buzzword today across all spheres of day-to-day activity, healthcare innovations will be one of the most important aspects of deliberation, discussion, and debate in today's summit and annual pharmaceutical leadership meet. Innovations obviously have found an answer in several spheres of activity, and healthcare is not alien to that either. Healthcare delivery has always been and will always be an important aspect of discussion in any healthcare and pharmaceutical meeting and summit. As I said earlier, innovation has always successfully addressed several emerging demands in various walks of life, more so in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. Be it the medical profession or be it industry, the one mantra for everybody is put patients first. That is something that all of us will certainly address. What more, how better for patients. Suffice it to say then that all this forms the genesis and crux of today's Pharmaceutical Leadership Summit. It will indeed be interesting for all of us to hear the value additions of all these esteemed speakers and panelists across all these subjects, ranging from healthcare for all, healthcare innovations, trends in dermatology and cosmetology, and indeed even CSR. But first, for the welcome address and to enlighten us on the theme of today's summit. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Satya Brahma. Satya Brahma is the founder and chairman and editorial head of the illustrious Network 7 Media Group, having its wide portfolio in mainstream media in the form of current affairs, news magazines, specialized and much widely acclaimed global media events. Healthcare communications and digital media being a very important aspect. Under the banner of Network 7, Satya founded the Pharma Leaders, which is Asia's most analytical healthcare bi-monthly magazine and India's best-known peer-reviewed pharmaceutical and biotechnology voice. Satya formatted the much-awaited annual event for the corporate world, India Leadership Conclave and India Affairs Business Leadership Awards in 2009. Satya is a passionate thinker, composed writer, and he imbibes a rare quality of possessing rich leadership qualities with an analytical frame of mind. India Leadership Conclave 2009 was something that he spearheaded along with NDTV Profit and DNA. Satya founded the Network 7, as I told you, and which is now recognized globally as one of the most admired media properties. Satya has published many award-winning periodicals, magazines, and journals, recipient of many honors and recognitions in India and abroad. Most importantly, Satya believes in empowering unsung heroes in our beloved country, India. Welcome, Satya Brahma, for his inaugural and welcome address.
Thank you, KK, for giving a nice introduction and kind words. At the outset, let me welcome you since I have already told you. Today's discussion is all about the brand India winning. Something which I am discussing at the backdrop of all the negative things that is happening around the country. Healthcare challenges in India at present are of different dimensions and more of cleaning the system at the helm who are responsible for formulating laws and regulations. While we can't ignore the concerns of the pharma companies facing complex issues in regulatory and legal hurdles, in IPR challenges as well, pricing and other issues related to the patent regime also. Pharma leaders strongly believe, and I am also of the opinion, that evolving global and domestic market dynamics are likely to result in significant opportunities and challenges for pharma companies operating both in India as well as Indian affiliates of MNC companies. Some key issues that are already highlighted are started to capture the attention of the leadership. In fact, the top leadership of the healthcare industry in India. I am of the opinion that healthcare industry in India needs to work hand in hand with various stakeholders such as government, patents, consumers, doctors, and chemists. As the pace of growth in India is accelerating with Asia, which is likely to overtake to North America in terms of overall pharma sales. At the same time, we can't overlook the spotlight on the unbridled prices, the increase in prices, which is creating a huge havoc among the minds of the patients and the general consumers. The situation becomes grave for a poor country like India, where many are pushed into indebtedness due to spiraling healthcare costs, absence of an efficient public healthcare system, and a sparsely penetrated health insurance coverage. Patients have to cover up major medical expenses out of their own pocket for serious and chronic diseases. Ailments in India such as diabetes, epidemics rises in malaria and other issues. Cancer, HIV, hepatitis C, respiratory diseases, tuberculosis being obscenely priced. Most of these treatments are patented, which implies that their price cannot be kept or regulated. For the past decades, the government has not been able to come up with a very feasible model for negotiating prices of patented and overpriced treatments with the MNCs. This is creating a big problem for the pharma companies as well as the healthcare industry. India needs a very strong and robust public healthcare model. Well, there is a system that can check obscenely priced treatments, making it more affordable and accessible to the millions of Indian population, especially in rural areas, which is a major chunk wherein 72% of populations are residing over there. The need to improve on guidelines to check the cost of medical doctors who combined with experienced diagnostic trust and above all the cost of staying in a hospital, that to private hospitals. India's rising middle class are the victims of such draconian unwritten laws and regulations. Pharma leaders also strongly believes that the union government must ensure as quickly as possible the need of universal healthcare insurance to rescue the agency of Indian and rural middle classes often remains as a silent spectator of living in the world's largest democracy, that is India, and thinking the real Achhe Din, when it will come, it's a big question mark. Also, India faces a shortfall of 2 million doctors and 4 million nurses for its population. Therefore, increasing the number of healthcare professionals has to be given a top priority for this country. This is indeed very important. The world's highest number of women dying in childbirth, the world's highest deaths of children under the age of 5, a health system that ranks 112 among 190 countries, one doctor for 1700 people, 21% of the world's burden of diseases, worsened by poor public health and sanitation. While India has the fastest growing population and an ambitious growth aspirations, it has always had disproportionately small health budgets, and in 2015, this shrunk further to 1.2% of the cost of the GDP, one of the stringent in the world. Creating socially committed doctors should be the aim of the medical education in India. It is high time that India focused on quality rather than quantity. Because while opening new medical colleges may make headlines, it is important to realize that makeshift medical colleges will only worsen the condition of our already sick health sector